So today I'm going to be sharing and quickly demoing this week's project. This is project number 10 of my 25 projects in 25 weeks challenge. I'm almost halfway. I actually have next week's project and I'm working on 12 right now. So I'm pretty much halfway through the challenge. I'm going to talk a little bit about something interesting that happened. Something good. Finally got a little bit of help and some serious traction on one of my projects. First, my random story for today. So it's now January 2nd. New Year's just came and gone. I was thinking about it. I was like, well, what was one of my most memorable New Year's? So I'm going to quickly share that story. I remember pretty vividly the Y2K New Year's. I still think that's the coolest one that I've ever seen. So such a rare thing, like to go from 1900s to 2000. It was a big fucking deal. And I was a kid. I was really young. My sisters were really young. It was really weird because my parents, we were kids, so we were with our parents, but they did something really weird. Even in hindsight, I'm like, why did they do that? That was so weird. I think they realized the importance of it and they wanted us to really remember it. But it was pretty crazy. They took, like, I was a teen, like real young teen, and they took me and my sisters and their friends, rented a bunch of like hotel rooms at the beach, and like we threw a huge party. It was like wild. They were like drinking. I think I even had like a beer maybe. And we were really young too to be drinking like that. and they my parents just kind of looked the other way. It was like turned out into a wild party. People, kids were making out and like, fooling around. Like it was pretty wild party. This is pretty crazy. And I remember it was like a mix of fear. Everyone was so scared of the Y2K thing because there was a bug in all the computers. So when the clock changed, it like couldn't handle the math and the programming couldn't handle that new 2000 number. Oops. So all these developers back in the day in the late 90s were fixing all the errors that were coded. So there was a big fear that all the lights would turn off and people stayed at home and, were really scared. We were at the beach partying and I'll never forget, like there was all of us spraying, the little spray at each other and popping things and there was fireworks. So weird. Somebody at the party swears they saw a UFO that night. This is pretty weird. I swear to God, true story. And they swear it up and down for years and years. Somebody I know well that doesn't really lie about shit. They're even in law enforcement. Like this person swears they saw a UFO. I mean, that's how wild of a night it was. Like there was, teens drinking, we're on the beach, kids are on the beach making out, there's UFOs. This is a pretty wild night. So interesting thing about that. There's a database of UFO reportings, like all over the world. And I've looked it up. Multiple people have reported that UFO in that spot in that database. Pretty interesting stuff. Pretty wild party. The party was so wild, alien showed up. I mean, that says everything. True story. It's just so weird. But that's the most memorable. I'll never forget, like, the excitement. Like, wow, it's the 2000s. It's no longer the 1900s. It's not this, it's a new, not even century. We're in the 2000s. Like, it was a really big deal. And I remember thinking, like, the lights are not going to draw. I remember telling my whole family, everybody, it's going to be fine. I don't think anything's going to happen. And there was a sigh of relief when the lights were still on and the world just kept going. And everyone was like, okay, let's party. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for that night. Seriously, was pretty cool of them. And they probably spent a fortune. And that wasn't really like them either. That's why it really sticks out in my mind. Yes, I'm old. I was partying at barely partying, but I was partying at the Y2K New Year's. So moving on. Let's get down to business. This is week 10, project 10. So for the New Year's, I wanted to make something really simple. Like my goal was simplicity what is the simplest, smallest thing I could do to like make the world slightly better, to help people in even in a minute little way. And so what I came up with was one goal. The domain name kind of sucks, but it's hard to find good domain names nowadays. Onegoal.email. What is this? You come up with one goal you want to achieve this year. You write it, you put your email, and you'll get it back later at some random time when you least expect it this year. Maybe you'll get it more than once. Maybe you'll get it a couple times throughout the year. I don't know. It's going to be very random. That's it. You just simply type in your goal, email, hit go. You have to hit the confirmation in the email because of spam, and you'll get it back one day. That's it. This has really weirdly resonated with people. The conversion rate for this, not a lot of people have come so far, but like a huge amount that come actually do this, and they're sending and it's kind of a lot of trust to trust me that'll keep your goal safe or not look at it or whatever. So I appreciate that people have taken the leap of faith, and I don't know what they're putting, so maybe a lot of people are like putting some bullshit like fuck you, or I don't know, like hey me, I don't know, whatever, put whatever you want. I'm assuming people are putting goals, but I get a notification when someone does it. So I can see all day, like I woke up and there was a few people wrote goals overnight. So I'm seeing that people are using it. I hope people are like sincerely using it. I think people are. I feel like some people would really sincerely put a goal. I'll tell you my goal I put in there. I put test that I get an email and this works. To be blunt, that's but I'll put a real one too because I think it's cool myself. But yeah, this has resonated with people. So go put a goal. It's free. It takes like 10 seconds. Seriously, you just got to click the confirmation email. I haven't seen how many people didn't click that, but I imagine some people didn't click that email. It's cool. It's free. It's super quick. It's very simple, but I do think there's something powerful about getting that message from your past back to you. Like, hey, remember, Steven, like this is the goal. Like, don't forget. Like, this is what you wanted to achieve. I don't know. I just wanted to do something really simple, not a goofy, silly thing, but a more serious thing. It's a new year. Put your goal. You'll get reminded later. And I'm a little taken back by how many people have said, hey, that's really cool. Thank you. I added a goal. Because a few people have done this now. So let's talk about what happened. I went a little viral again for a project. This is officially the most popular project I've had to date. In all the 10 projects, this is number one. Check it out. Why is there so many? I think number one is a simple page you just load really quick, and really quick is the whole purpose of it. I had posted this to Hacker News. Hacker News is like the tech Reddit-like website where people upvote things, and it's very technical. It's largely the audience is like software engineers or people who work at tech companies. Y Combinator is the big successful startup incubator accelerator that is responsible for all the big tech names that you use: Dropbox, Airbnb, Reddit, tons and tons and tons of sites. I guarantee you, if you're watching this, you've used a Y Combinator site or service before. So they have a platform for like Reddit for just tech stuff. So I posted this. It got like one upvote, maybe two. Didn't go anywhere, as always. But something interesting happened. The actual mods, there's a couple people that run Y Combinator's Hacker News site. They're like the official moderators. They're like employees of Y Combinator. They go and they find interesting things that they think the audience actually would like. They put it back into what's called the second pool, where at first I thought somebody shared this, and then I looked and I was like, why, where's all this traffic? What's happening? And I went and realized, oh, they added it to the second pool. So they just add it, and it kind of hits the homepage and has a little bit more oomph. And if people start upvoting it, then it really gets kind of carried up to the top. And this was at the top 5 on Hacker News for quite a while, on the front page for hours. And look at the results. Like, this is by far the most popular thing I've done. And this is like the least expected project I thought would be the most popular. It's just a simple page. You load it really fast and super fast. It uses Cloudflare web workers. People were like, this is a static site. No, there's actually things happening with JavaScript. So it's not a static HTML page. That's kind of the impressive part. I spent like a week on this. I worked so hard on this. I tried to push every millisecond. How this works is have a worker directly pump out the HTML as a string, essentially. It isn't actually static. A real worker is running JavaScript. That's the impressive bit, at least what I found impressive. Boy, oh boy, did those people on Hacker News eat me alive. People were talking mad shit on me. People were hating on me so bad. You reinvented the 90s. I mean, people just were having a field day. But that controversy gets a lot of comments, gets people looking. Some people press the upvote. But so many people subscribed to my newsletter after that. People followed me on Twitter. I got tons of traction, tons and tons of people signed up to the newsletter. A lot of people checked out this week's project. A lot of people went and checked out my other projects. This was huge. This was a good win. Super, super happy. I'm still getting decent traffic. Even the last day, I got links. I mean, this was kind of a home run for me. This is what I've been looking for. It's small, but these things are compounding, I'm finding pretty quickly. So this is a huge win. I finally got some help. This is what I've been wanting. It makes me realize I really need help. And if I just get a little help, this will all be much more successful. So what a cool win. Very unexpected. I only found out because I started getting a lot of notifications for new subscribers to the newsletter. And at first I thought I was like getting spammed by a bot, because that's happened in my previous newsletter. So I went, what's going on here? It was a bot kind of attacking my list. But they looked pretty real. And I was like, this data looks real. Where are all these people coming from? And they came from Crazy Fast. That's, I have a form. It takes you to the page, fills out your email address. There's a link. There's a link to my Twitter. So it was real. These numbers are funny. A lot of it is bots. I've noticed there's a huge discrepancy between the Cloudflare raw and server kind of numbers and plausible. I don't think it was 26,000. I think it was more like 15 to 20,000. So I noticed there's a lot of bots hitting Hacker News. So I would put this probably at the high range, about real 15,000 unique visitors. So what a fucking success. This is so what I've been hoping to see. I'm excited. It got a bunch of subscribers. And because they're new subscribers, the first thing I hit them with was this. And because they're new, they're like, oh, I want to click this new newsletter I signed up. So I got a lot of good traction on this. And I'm starting to see something interesting. The last couple of projects, I did not post to Reddit. Reddit has been blocking me. I put too many URLs. And I'm starting to see a lot of hundreds and hundreds of people coming to each project without relying on Reddit. Because Reddit, I was kind of leaning on Reddit to get a lot of traffic to my projects. And you kind of hope it kind of gets some upvotes and starts, the algorithm starts showing it. And I can't rely on that. So I'm starting to finally see real users, real shares, real links, organically, without relying on the algorithms, which is exactly what I want. That's the purpose of the newsletter. So this is good news. I'm starting to see traction. They're low numbers, just hundreds. I want thousands. I want tens of thousands, but I'm starting to really see things compound. And I'll randomly see in the analytics older project, just suddenly getting a bunch of traffic. Someone shared, someone put it in a newsletter, someone put it on a website. So these things are all compounding and slowly starting to work. So I'm rolling into the New Year's, and this happened, by the way, New Year's Eve night. So I went out in a really good mood, being like, this is starting to actually work. Stay tuned. I have one small project, 2 bigger projects coming up, and then one, hopefully, really big project. So this one and the next one's kind of similar, small ones, but I have good stuff coming up, I swear. And I'm still working on trying to find someone to help me make better YouTube videos because I, again, need help. Cannot do this by myself. And if you're watching still, I'm going to ask you for a favor. If you could just hit the like button, that would really help me out a lot. That's all I'm asking for. Just if you could just if you're still here, hit that like button. And I'll see you next time.